Hey everyone, Kale with the Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with some cool news about a huge haul of books that I recently got. So with that said, I am just going to show you guys two pictures really quick of these books that I just got. So literally, here's the first picture. I got a couple pictures from a couple different angles just to really show things. Here's another one, and I think here's another one somewhere in there. And those books, I know I only showed you really quick flashes, but most of those books are just mass market paperbacks. Mass market paperbacks, I know if you guys are doing book selling and have been doing it for a while, you guys probably know that those are not worth a whole lot of money. And since you guys probably know they're not worth a whole lot of money, you probably know that you have to get them for a really good price to be able to sell them for a good price. So by and large, I try to buy my mass market paperbacks for 10 cents or less. Honestly, when I'm happiest is when I get it for 5 cents or less, but I can do 10 cents or less. And actually, I just got back from a sale where I paid more than 5 cents a piece, and more than 10 cents a piece actually. But that's okay with me because I got a huge haul, as you guys saw in those photos, and I got them just down the street a smidge from where I live. So literally, from where I live, I have to get out of my driveway and then drive down, take a left, take another left, drive, take a right, and then I'm there. It's just down the road, basically. So I was really excited to find it because it was pretty stinking close, and I got a whole lot of books, and I paid 14 cents a book once I finished all the math, all that sort of stuff. And with that said and done, what does that mean for me? That means I'm able to make some pretty good money because with how many books I bought and without what I bought them for and with how much I'll be able to sell them for, I'll be able to make hundreds of dollars of profit. So currently I am actually running a sale on my eBay stores. So I know I threw out some numbers in a recent video about, I'm selling these for $9, I'm selling these for $12, that sort of stuff. Those prices are actually about 40% off from what I'm normally selling. I'm doing a big sale event right now on my eBay store to try to get rid of a lot of inventory because I'm working on a move, but I ended up buying a whole lot of books because it was just such a good deal. So with all that said and done, I'm going to run these numbers two different ways for you guys today just because I want to be completely transparent with you. So first things first, how do I sell my books? I sell my mass market books, all these mass market paperbacks that you guys saw. I sell them for lots of 10 a lot of the time. I also sell for just unsorted ones. I am also selling them for lots of 20. I can sell the others for lots of 20 as well, but I find that lots of 10 do pretty well. I've done lots of 40 in the past, but again, lots of 10 seem to do pretty well. And then you can just offer volume pricing on these different books. So then if someone wants to buy 40 books, they can buy 40 books from you and get some nice little discount from buying it via the eBay, large quantity thing. I forgot what it's called all of a sudden. There we go. Volume pricing, sorry. So that's something that you can do. That's something I have found honestly does a little bit better. It's a little more customizable for people who don't want to buy 6 million books all at once. There are actually some listings I've seen on eBay over the years that someone is selling 200 mass market paperback books. So it's something you can definitely fiddle with. It's something that you can find. For me, I find that selling lots of 10 does pretty well. And I thought about showing you guys all the different books that I got and really show things off like that, but I thought I would rather run you guys through the numbers and show you just a few of the books. So some of the books that I got that are my best-selling books for mass market paperbacks are love-inspired. It's suspense, it's romance. They have a lot of different love-inspired books, but just look for the little thing that says love-inspired in this weird cursive font. On the back, it'll have some weird 3 leaves. Some of them have a church steeple. The reason why it does that is it's clean romance and Christian romance and non-romance stuff also. But yeah, that is something that is really does really well for me, sorry. And again, that's the larger print ones. It's not large print, it's larger print, which I think is weird, but that's what I like buying and selling. It does very well for me, and I'm not repulsed by what I'm selling, what you might find when you find some of the other mass market paperbacks out there. With the other mass market paperbacks mentioned, I don't have the Inner Pro ones. I try to do my best to not get those in my eBay store, but mass market paperbacks cover a huge variety of things. You can have science fiction, you can have nonfiction, you can have thrillers, you can have adventure, all these sorts of genres. Everything makes a mass market paperback. So I sell unsorted ones of those for various amounts. Currently, with the 40% off sale, I'm selling lots of 10 for $3 and lots of 20 for $10. Sorry, not 10, for 6. Again, that's about $40 off from usual, and honestly, I've also sold those for $9. The Love Inspired Romance, the larger print ones, My listing is actually for $20. Right now with a sale, I'm selling them for $12. They're selling like hotcakes at $12. That's actually why I was really looking for a place to buy more of them, is because of that. So another thing is Love Inspired. They make a non-larger print edition. So these are just normal size text. I sell lots of 10 of those for about $18-ish, $16, somewhere in there. Depends. Currently, I'm selling them for $9 with the different sale that I'm running. Another genre of books that I have found sell pretty well is not Love Inspired, but they have one called Harley Quinn, something like that. And they make romance. It looks like some of them are inappropriate, some are not. So I do my best to find the non-inappropriate ones and sell those. And I just sell Harley Quinn books. That's just the publisher. And I just say that in the listing. There are a lot of other people selling those. I am currently selling those at $9, I believe. And my listing, I think, for them when it's not on sale is about $15. So with all that said and done, guys, with all the books that I purchased, I bought not all just Love Inspired ones. I had to buy a whole mix of them because this sale that I went to, which I'll talk about more in a little bit, but this sale I went to had a huge variety of things and I just had to sort through and find what I wanted most. So with that said, I bought a total of 538 books. Of course, that doesn't math 100% correct for how I want to do lots of 10s for all these books, but you'll have to bear with me for now. So let's just get rid of that extra 8, so just 530 books roughly is what we are going to be doing the math on. And at the sale prices that I currently have everything listed at, that will get me that'll get me $342, which is not very huge, especially when you think about how much I spent, which I'll mention a little bit. If you sell these books for my non-sale prices, so $20 for the larger print Love Inspired, or just $9 for the unsorted, if you sell it for that price, that actually gets me up to $600 for a sales price of everything, if everything sells. That does not include shipping though. Without shipping, that is really good because that means most of that money is going to be profits because I'm able to buy these books for so cheap. However, if I was to pay shipping, I would be making basically no money on any of this because shipping's terrible. So when I'm selling these mass market paperback books, I like to sell them, the lots of 10, I like to sell them buyer pays shipping, and then I also charge a $1 or $2 handling fee. Oftentimes I try to do $2 when I'm doing a lot of books because it's just helps me sort of like slow down a little bit, be like, okay, I'm getting $2 here. I can spend 1 minute making sure I have actually 10 books. I have to make sure like a couple different things. The $2 helps me like sort of handle these books as best as I can, and it also pays for the box that I'm shipping them in plus a little bit. So honestly guys, it's just a nice little way to make sure that I'm not losing money and making sure I don't lose my head when I'm dealing with 500 shipments, because these Love Inspired larger print books in particular, I've actually had some days where I sold, I believe, 6 like within an hour, just back to back to back to back. And when that happens, you get sort of overwhelmed. You're like, oh no, I need to grab this and this and this and this, and I need to count them out and da 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 da. And when you're charging the little handling fee, it's like, okay, I just made like $40 off of just handling fees. I can take a couple seconds. Let's make sure this is good, which is pretty nice. So with all that said and done, how much did I spend for all these books? Again, guys, that's 538 mass market paperback books. Sorry, I ended up spending, wait for it, $75 for all those books. That's a really good deal. I was able to do that because they had something going on called a bag sale. Those bag sales do so well for me so much of the time because I'm able to get the books for a really low price, and I usually am able to get a whole lot of books as well. And for me, I actually just bought a pickup truck partially for this book business that I am able to just load with books and like totally abuse by putting too many books in it. And it's really stinking nice. It's not even just like a normal pickup truck. It's like a 2500 instead of like a normal 1500 or F-150 or whatever. It's the next level up from that, which means that it can carry a lot more stuff. So I'm able to really stick a lot of books in there. Currently, I have not fully loaded it with books to the point that I feel bad, but I will at some point most likely. So with all that said and done, guys, I was able to get these for a really good price. I try to normally get them for about 10 cents a piece, preferably less, but 10 cents a piece. At this particular sale I went to, I actually ended up spending 14 cents a piece, but that's because it was so close. I was like, okay, with gas, all those sort of things, I think I could spend a little bit more, but that's what was going on with that. And with all that said and done, where did I get this awesome big haul? Like, where can you guys find an awesome haul like that? Like, what do you have to do to find a haul of books or anything else that's stinking fantastic? And the answer is, surprisingly, a senior center. So for me, I have not spent a whole lot of time actually looking at all the different senior centers near where I live. I mean, I look at them sometimes and I drive by sometimes and I see they have a sale and I'll stop by every now and then. Oftentimes the only senior centers that I've actually personally gone to and bought books at are the ones that are a lot more local to where I live that I'm just driving by, because they don't advertise very much. The advertising that they do is like a street sign here or there, and I can't find a street sign here or there when I'm going about my normal day unless it's on the drive that I am doing. Like, let's say I live in this town here, the town over here, I can't see anything that they have on their street, which means that I'm missing out on all the things further away from me because they're not advertising. So it's something that, honestly, it's a gift and a curse, if you guys will. So for the gift side of things, it means that you're the only person that's going to be showing up, most likely, that is a bookseller. So you'll be able to buy all these things, get some great deals. But the curse is you're missing out on all the ones that are further away from where you live unless you're driving around all the time. So that's something that is worth keeping in mind. Something that I have personally found is nice for these senior center book sales is they advertise on Craigslist sometimes and also in local newspapers. So that's something that you can do to try to find ones that are a little further away from where you live. And again, there's not going to be a whole lot of resellers that are going to go to these places and buy the books and get rid of all the good books and charge prices a whole lot higher because there's a lot more demand. So that is something that you guys can do because a lot of people aren't willing to put in that extra work. For me, I'm willing to put in the extra work because I love getting the extra books, because extra books means more money for me. I like that. So that's something that's definitely worth keeping in mind. Some other things that are worth noting, quick sidebar actually about things worth noting. Larger print books, I mentioned this already, but larger print books, those actually can sell for a higher price. That's the sidebar, but back to the senior center thing. Those senior centers, guys, you can get some great prices. Sometimes they have a huge amount of stuff. So for me, I got a huge amount of books. All the books that I got, the 538, according to my number here, all those books that I got, I ended up really being happy with, and I ended up buying maybe half of their store out of their different sale items. I ended up buying about half of them. Maybe not quite that. Maybe it was more like a third, but it was somewhere in there. I mean, I bought a substantial portion. And it's funny, like I walk in and I'm like, hey, so can I get a deal? And they're like, maybe not right now. I mean, we're running a good deal right now, but if you come back in a few hours, we're doing a bag sale. That's something that I normally am willing to do if it's local. I'll come back for the bag sale, or if I'm driving a little bit, I will actually wait in my car sometimes. That's something that you can do, but honestly, guys, nothing can hurt if you just ask. You guys can ask and get some really good deals. They were actually talking about potentially giving me a better deal, but at the end of the day, a $5 per bag sale was a pretty good deal. 14 cents, it's not too much higher than my 10 cents, so I was happy. And they were happy because I got so many of their books, because otherwise they have to go and pack those books up and ship them or truck them back to wherever they normally put them or store them, that sort of stuff. It's not very fun, especially for senior centers. A lot of times it's seniors running these things, so they don't really want to spend all the energy moving all those books around time and time again. So you guys can get a really good deal. I don't recommend pushing too hard on anything and like being a jerk about it, because these people are just nice old seniors doing their thing. Don't be a jerk, but that's something that you guys can definitely do. For me, also with these senior centers, it's nice if you are as nice as you can to these people, because sometimes they might set these books aside for you. If you say that you like selling these certain things, they might set it aside for you for later, the next time you come, or they might keep you in mind. They might give you a text message, that sort of thing, for when the sale goes on. There's a lot of things that people are willing to do when you are willing to be a little bit nicer. So that's another thing that might be worth doing. Again, though, guys, senior centers, you can get some of the biggest hauls of your life. You can get some of the best deals of your life. In fact, the last senior center sale that I went to that I bought paperback books at, mass market paperbacks, I believe I paid 5 cents or less for every single book. I want to say it ended up being more like 3 cents, something like that. And it was because they just had a whole bunch left over at the end of their sale. And they're like, hey, you want to buy these books? Okay, take them. 5 cents a piece, or whatever they ended up saying. And I was very happy with that. So there is a lot of good things that you can do and a lot of good money that can be made if you guys simply look around locally at different places that you go. Of course, I have gone through in another video, which I will be linking to there at the end of the video. In this other video, I talk about different places that you can go to buy books, get some really good deals for books. Those places include Friends of the Library sales, they include estate sales, garage sales, and they include Goodwill outlets. And honestly, guys, I would actually add Goodwill stores to that list now after a recent video that I made as well. So with all that said and done, guys, again, that video is right there about the best places you can go. And since I mentioned the thing about Goodwill stores, there's a video that I actually was really surprised about a Goodwill store that made me some really good money. And with that said and done, be sure to subscribe up there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.